All right, so let's talk God's omniscience for a quick second. So what I want to do in this video is I want to lay out various ways of understanding how God is omniscient, which is one of the key attributes of God, how he is omniscient, and how our view of his omniscience can actually change how we do theological discernment, okay? So what I'm going to argue as well is that so many of our most important and heaviest theological disagreements or distinctions that we make as Christians actually hinge upon how we view God's omniscience as a whole. So what I want to do is lay out two ancient ways of viewing it, and I obviously want to give an argument for one being the stronger view, but that's what I'm going to do here. So the first one would be the ancient notion of that God is timeless, okay? That time was, time is, and time will be, and there's kind of this steady state of time, and that then God is over time, and he can see it all at once, okay? Now, this would fit very well with the older Newtonian view of physics, that time was, time is, and time will be, and God kind of oversees it. And this is where so many of the Calvinist, Arminian debates, open theists, those kind of debates, they hang on this particular viewpoint of science, of Newtonian physics, and of God as being timeless, okay? Now, the other ancient way of viewing God's omniscience would be the way of Boethius, or the Boethian way of understanding time, okay? And what he argues is that time is real to God. So yes, God is omniscient, and yes, he sees all things, past, present, and future, but he also allows each time to be real in and of itself. Okay, so this, I would argue, fits much better with the modern view of physics, which is the Einsteinian view, or the based off the theory of relativity, okay, which is that time and space are actually funny things, and they can actually bend with gravity, okay? So if this is known within our own universe and our own cosmos, how much more real is this when we're talking about God? That he can allow something that is happening in the moment, even if he knows what will come, he allows it to be real in and of itself. Okay, so this gets like when we get in discussions about okay, Adam and Eve in the garden, if God foreknew what they were going to do, did God make that choice, or did Adam and Eve make that choice, right? And one bound to God, the God is timeless view, has to say, well, they made the choice, but God knew what they were going to make, and so it was all planned out from the beginning. That's the Calvinistic reading. Arminians have a different view of doing that, or other views. But I would argue that, myself being a high church Catholic thinker within the Anglican tradition, I would say that the Boethian view here is really strong. That God allows, yes, he knows what will be because God is present in all times, but he also allows each time to be real and of itself. This is a really powerful way of thinking and of wrestling through this. So that's what I want to argue here. God bless.